Hi there, and welcome back to Retired with a Full Heart at Home. I wanted to change gears a little bit, back to something that's a little closer to my passion at this time, which is health and fitness. I had done a video about my weight loss journey. I had said that I wanted to lose between 20 and 30 pounds. It's been more than 72 days since I started. I continue to lose weight at a sustainable rate. But not all of my weight loss has been positive. Two things have happened. One is that in the first 72 days, the number of calories I burn in a day has dropped by what I think is a pretty astounding 170 calories. That really surprised me. At first I was shocked, a little depressed, I'm not gonna lie. But then I came to a realization that this was a really positive thing. So I want to share that with you. The second event that has not been so positive is that the scale reports that I've lost 3 pounds of muscle. And I really didn't want to lose any muscle if I could help it. So that was another depressing finding that I also have dug into a little bit more and don't feel so bad about it now. Before you tune out, just hang in there because I'm going to talk to you about how these negatives can turn into positives. Take a look at the plot. This is my total calorie expenditure each day for the first 72 days on the days when I worked out. And so you can see that there's quite a range in calorie expenditures for the day. But if you draw a trend line through that, you'll see that from day 1 all the way to day 72, my total calorie expenditure has dropped by 171 calories. Even on my rest days, if you draw a linear fit through those data points, you can see that my calorie deficit dropped by 169 calories per day, which is very, very close to the 171 or so. What the heck is going on? In the 72 days, I've lost 10 pounds, but 10 pounds should not result in a metabolic rate shift of let's call it 170 calories per day. So I went and I looked at the calculation that the Cleveland Clinic does for basal metabolic rate, and I put the formula here on the slide for you. Doing that calculation for me at the start of the 72 days at a weight of 135.5 pounds, my basal metabolic rate was 13.02 calories per day. And currently, at day 72, at 125 pounds, my basal metabolic rate has dropped to 1,266 calories per day, which is a delta of 35 calories per day, not 170. I did some more digging to try and figure out why it was dropping so much more. But while we're on this topic, I just wanted to point out basal metabolic rate doesn't change with age as much as I thought it did. So from 18 to 58, a 40-year difference in age only made 125 calorie per day difference at the same weight. More to come on where the rest of the calories went. I think a big part of that is that I actually got fitter. So let me explain. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I wear a Fitbit Versa, and that takes your heart rate nearly continuously, and it downloads it to your Fitbit app on your phone. And so I'm able to track my resting heart rate every day. And so I plotted it. On the first day of my weight loss campaign, my resting heart rate was 56. And today my resting heart rate is 49. And that's a pretty significant shift in your resting heart rate. That's about 12.5%. What happened was I started this weight loss campaign after being away from cardio for about 5 months. My husband and I were renovating a condominium and I could not get to the gym. And when I resumed it, I dropped my resting heart rate because of the cardio. Now, the common explanation when folks see that they're not burning as many calories as they were when they start a weight loss campaign, Their metabolism is shutting down to conserve energy to make up for the calorie deficit. And in my particular case, I eat over 1,500 calories a day, which more than covers my daily calorie need, except for exercise. I don't believe my body is in a starvation mode or is sensing danger, so to speak, and shutting down to preserve energy. I actually firmly believe that I'm just fitter, and that's the answer. If you think about it, take two people to walk up a hill, and one does it with ease, as if it's just part of their normal stride, and the other person really struggles. They're breathing hard, their heart rate is really up, they start sweating, and they're having a real trouble getting up that hill. Of course, the person who's struggling is going to burn more calories. They're taking more effort to do it. And so, do you say, oh gosh, I'm glad I burned more calories huffing up that hill? Or do you say, geez, I really need to get in shape? So I personally think it's a good thing to not have to expend as much energy to do daily tasks. And so if my resting heart rate is lower and my body's just saying, hey, you're fitter, you don't need to expend as much energy to do normal daily tasks, I think that's a great thing, and I'm not going to cry about the calories that I didn't burn. The lower the resting heart rate is, the better it is for your health span and for your lifespan. I think that also translates to something called VO2 max, which is an indication of how well your body uses oxygen for cardiovascular activity. When your resting heart rate is lower, you're healthier in general. And so that's a good thing. So what's my prediction for the future? Well, my heart rate can't continue to come down, and you can see in the plot that it is leveling off. It's flattening out. And so I think it's going to flatten out. I'm going to plateau at a certain level. And then my calorie burn every day will also seek a level. And if that doesn't happen, I'll definitely do an update. I feel a little bit like I need to defend cardio. I kind of feel like it's been getting a bad rap lately. And no one likes seeing their calorie expenditure go down, not even a little bit, and not even me. But if it's due to a resting heart rate reduction, I'll take that. And I'll take that as a win. I think that's an outcome of doing cardio that is not talked about enough. They just focus on metabolic rate reduction, don't look at why that's actually happening and how great that is really for the body. So it's my guess, if I wasn't doing cardio or I wasn't doing intensive enough cardio to drop my resting heart rate, I wouldn't see the significant calorie reduction per day that I am seeing, but I also wouldn't be getting those benefits that I'm seeing as well. So maybe the metabolism shift isn't so bad, but what about that muscle loss I mentioned? You can see in the plot that I've lost about 3 pounds of muscle according to the scale. I don't feel like I have lost 3 pounds of muscle. I did a little more digging, and you can look at the plot here that shows that while my weight has come down and my muscle has come down, so has my water mass. It's gone down by 2 pounds over the last 72 days. Muscles are 75 to 80% water. So of the 3 pounds that was reported to be lost by the scale, over 2 pounds of that could actually be water. I don't hear that really talked about as well. It almost sounds like the muscle mass losses that are reported are muscle fiber alone. I don't want to lose any muscle mass. I would like to get more data on the distinction between muscle fiber loss or protein loss versus water mass. If the muscle fiber that I've lost is under a pound, which I hope it is, I've been doing to try and stave that off a little bit is that I've been carrying weights, 5-pound weight in each hand when I run, the first half of my run, which is 30 minutes. And that just to try to get my upper body a little more active in the process of running. I don't think that's weight training by any means, and I know that I need to be doing more strength training and weight training. I do plan to do that when I get my weight closer to my goal, but right now my priority is fat loss. I do try and eat more protein. I'm currently getting about 100 grams of protein in each day, and I really am shooting for 120, but I haven't been able to even get close to that. This is another aside. There's a lot of discussion about muscle mass and metabolism. The loss of the muscle that I had, the 3 pounds or the 0.75 pounds of muscle fiber, not to blame for my calorie burn reduction either, because 1 pound of muscle burns about 6 to 10 calories per day at rest. So why am I sharing this? It's a personal story about a weight loss journey. I'm an N of 1. I'm a sample size of 1. Why did I think this might be valuable to somebody else? And I think the reason I thought that is because not many people are able to track. I just think that the rhetoric around metabolism shift, particularly for us gals that are over 50, has just gotten my curiosity up. Are the impacts of cardio on muscle loss and metabolism as great as are reported, or is it maybe unintentionally, but is it a bit overhyped? I do track, and I thought I would just let you guys know what I'm seeing. And if there's somebody out there that actually tracks their data and would like to compare notes, I would love to engage with somebody that has their own personal experience doing cardio or weights and how much their metabolism shifted and how much muscle mass they lost. That would be awesome. And the last thing, I just wanted to do a quick update, and I did not do as well in this second 36-day period as I did in the first. I only had a 480 calorie per day deficit on average on the days I exercised. On the days I didn't run, though, it was really bad. So I didn't burn as many calories. I ate 1,834 calories on average on those days I didn't run. And so I had a surplus of 315 calories on those 5 days. In spite of the fact that I did not have as large a calorie deficit, the curve is still following calories in versus calories out curve. And in fact, you can see on this plot, the blue is what the scale tells me every day my weight is, and it's still driving me crazy with those ups and downs. But if you look at the predicted weight loss curve, just using calories in and calories out, the orange curve, the trend lines for both of those lay right on top of each other. And so it really is calories in and calories out. Your calories out might change a little bit. Your calories in will change some if you eat more like I did. But at the end of the day, it really is calories in and calories out. And if you're curious about my macros, I'm not low carb, above 200 grams of carbohydrates. Total fats didn't really change. I was able to nudge my protein up from 96 to 100. I wasn't able to move the needle at all on the fiber, unfortunately. I did get the sugar down a little bit, which was good. And my saturated fat, which is my number one goal, actually went up by 2 grams per day on average. So I'm going to really be working on beating that thing down, because I did a video on my function health results, and it shows that I have high LDL cholesterol, a high ApoB, and a high LP little a. So these are all lipoproteins that indicate risk of atherosclerosis. So you can check out my function health video if you want to learn more about that. So I'm going to have that retested in August, which is in about 3 more months. I'm about halfway there. Anyways, not perfect performance for sure in this second month, but hanging in there. Okay, to land this plane, I hope you got something out of this video. I know it's a case study of one, and it's my weight loss journey. But I'm hoping that between the 2 videos I've done, you're more at peace with the scale fluctuation, seeing that it really does reflect, calories in and calories out on an average basis. And also I hope that I'm not as worried about doing cardio. I was actually starting to get worried myself because it seemed like everywhere I was turning, don't do cardio after 50. And I'm even more convinced now that that's just not very good advice, that the benefits of cardio outweigh the negatives. And yes, if you do see a calorie per day reduction, check that resting heart rate, because it could just be because you're fitter. And isn't that the purpose of all of this? The last thing is, if you are worried about muscle fiber loss, and I still am struggling with that one a little bit, I'm going to continue to try to get that protein up and start incorporating weights into my routine. And I'm just sharing my experience and observations with you. And I hope you are able to benefit from this and stay well and stay healthy and thrive in retirement. Now's the time to take care of yourself. I wish you all the best. Hope to see you in the next video.